It's May 1st, so let's do a collection update. Okay, so it's been a while since I've done a collection update, a few months, and there's been a reason for that. Is because I've been holding off. Some of you may know, you've been watching the videos, follow me on Facebook, I have been redoing the whole reptile room. And I kind of wanted to unveil all of it at once, but I thought I'd make a compromise. I will show you this corner of the room, and this is because this is where all the animals are at right now, and I'll show you what I have. So this will be a collection update, and I will do a full room tour update hopefully by the 1st of next month. So stay tuned for that. Now let's get a look at these guys. Okay, so first up I'm going to show you are my chameleons. Now you've seen this little girl. This is the one I got back at Tinley Park. And you see she's doing well, she's getting big. But then what I haven't showed you guys is this girl here. I just recently picked her up at a pet store. Extremely good price, very well healthy, very well taken care of and healthy. So I couldn't resist for the price. It is another female, but you know, it's all good. And she is going to try to reach out and get you guys. So this is her YouTube debut. This is her first time. I love chameleons. Little girl, gotta keep them separate. Chameleons are one of my favorites, so you'll definitely be seeing more chameleons on my channel. That's the two little girls. Don't have names for them yet. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. So that's my chameleons, and let's go on to the next animal. Okay, so what I have next are my corn snakes, and here's a little red one that I have. He's actually a 3rd generation. I had his grandma, bought her as a baby 20 years ago, raised her up, bred her. I still have her son and this guy's father, so this is a 3rd generation of mine. I'm just simply working on this red. So there's that one, and because I got these two beautiful stripes. These are hypo stripes, and again, this is kind of what I'm working on. See, they're both hypo stripes, but you can see the color difference. The female here, she's a lot lighter in color, and then the male is has a whole lot more red. You almost would think that this guy is amelanistic or albino, but very pretty. Both are het for lavender, and speaking of lavender, we'll grab her up real quick. They're not happy being in the bin together. So here's my final youngster of corn snakes. This is a hypo lavender striped corn snake, one of my personal favorites. Again, one I hatched out myself. Her parents are not breeders. They're retired breeders, and they're in a loving pet home environment now. But this is one of the holdbacks from that pairing. Very beautiful. She is a sibling to the previous two. So we got a nice little trio of hypo stripes, and this one is also lavender. So very pretty. Anticipate that these guys will be breeding next season, so that's going to be fun. So let's move on to the next. Okay, the next snake I'm going to show you is another personal favorite, and she's actually in a water dish, so she might be a little wet. Let's get her out. And she just shed, so she's looking very beautiful. Of course, this is my scaleless Texas rat snake. Very beautiful snake. I love the coloration that she exhibits, from the intense burnt orange up near her head to we get a straw yellow toward the back. Now the saddles do have a little bit of red inside them, but it looks like as she's growing and shedding that they're actually starting to just fill in to be solid black. But nonetheless, definitely a favorite of mine. I didn't know how I felt about the scaleless snakes when I first started seeing them many years ago, and just had to get one and try them out. They're very interesting, very soft feeling, and they feel almost like tissue paper. But despite being a Texas rat snake, you can see she has a very good personality, very friendly, very handleable, and yeah, maybe one day we'll see some of these babies hatching on my channel. But until then, this is all I have. So let's put her back and go on to the next animal. You gonna get to camera? She's gonna get to camera. Okay, so the next reptile I'm gonna show you is one that you guys seen once before, and I don't believe I've shown them since. But here's my little jungle carpet python, and they're babies, so they're still a little bit nippy, but overall pretty good personality. I mean, slowly growing. They're looking very beautiful. I love the coloration, the cryptic coloration that these guys exhibit. So wanted some for a number of years, and just kind of, I don't know, I guess because of the space that they require, I kind of just stayed away from them, stayed with smaller colubrids. But now's a good time, changing up the collection a little bit, finding, playing around with some of the stuff that I haven't had before, but I like. So we got this little boy. This is a male, and then I've got a female. She's a little bit more crankier than he is, but she is the jungle jag. Oh. And she does not like him, nor does she really like me. Well, we'll get past that. So let me try to get this guy. They like to climb, so they're wrapping around me. We'll put him back. Nope. Okay, I think he's gonna stay. So let's take a look at her. Now I like her. I like the creamy colors. Yeah, she's kind of cranky. We'll get past that, won't we? Won't we? But I love the creamier colors that she exhibits. Again, very beautiful, very cryptic, and of course full of spunk. And it's okay. You can just relax. So yeah, as you can see, there's going to be some work need to be done with these guys, but from what I've read and from what I hear from other people, they eventually outgrow this, which is no biggie. I've worked with cranky snakes before, and if you know my story of my boa, I'm not fearful of dealing with things with a little bit of attitude. So anyways, that's the jungle jaguar and the jungle carpet pythons. We'll be seeing more of these guys on my channel because I absolutely love these guys, and maybe some more. I don't know, we'll see. Let's put this girl back. She's got a hold of me well. Let's put her back and we'll move on to the next animal. Okay, so the next snake I'm going to show you is this big corn snake here. Now, the previous little red baby I showed you, this is his father, and this is a second generation snake. He was born and bred here, and he's been raised here, and very, very lovely snake. Again, I'm working with just trying to isolate this red, the red that he's exhibiting, and we can get him to calm down a minute, and we can show his belly. The red is bled over into the belly to where most of his belly is getting red, but just with age, he just keeps intensifying with red. A little backstory: the reason I chose his mother, got her from a pet store. I was new to the hobby, really wasn't even a hobby at that time. I was just looking for a different pet. When I lived at home, really couldn't have snakes, so when I got my own place, went to the pet store, and they just had this baby corn snake, just red, red as could be, red being my favorite color, I went ahead and chose her over the other tank mates, and had her for 12 years. And you know, she was the first snake I bred. She's the one who kicked off breeding snakes. So yeah, she really started it all, and this is one of her children. And at an early age, he also exhibited a lot of reds, which a few others in the clutch did as well. And so I kept him, and you know, wish it were a female, but that just isn't the way it worked out. But anyways, very lovely, very beautiful red corn snake. So let's put him back, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, so let's interrupt all the snakes with these guys here, and as you can see, it is my lovely, lovely little crested geckos. This is the male. I believe he's a harlequin. I really don't know the morphs that well on these guys. So, and then this one is Princess Peach, of course. So I'm going to call this fella, this is Luigi. So that's my two crested geckos for now. I definitely want to get some more of these guys. Definitely fun little lizards to have. Very personal, very, I mean, look at those faces. Yay! How can you not like those guys? Definitely we'll see more of these guys on my channel in upcoming videos, so keep an eye out for that. Of course, they're both fired down at the moment, so, or you know, showing their sleeping colors, or however you want to say it. But both very, very beautiful geckos. She's a red and cream color when she gets flared up, and he's the dark color with the cream on his back. So I think that means he's harlequin. I'm not really for sure. And I certainly don't want to sound like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the morphs, because I don't. Not on the cresteds. It's all still new to me. She's a big old fat girl. I'm not sure how old she is, but she's probably at least a couple years old. And then of course this guy's a little young fella. I think he's well, I don't know, but he's definitely not as big as she is. But, so yeah, that's the crested geckos, and they're ready to go back to their cages and sleep for the rest of the day. Okay, so up next I have these beautiful snakes. This is my pair of Cinnalone milk snakes. Very beautiful. Again, like in the corn snakes, you know, I have two different shades of red. Go figure. Definitely liking the darker colored red one, but that also happens to be my female. And she's a little bit smaller than the male. She's kind of a finicky eater. Doesn't have a real strong feeding response, and you know, just really quirky about feeding. Sometimes you just have to put the food in there and walk away, and she'll come out and get it. Very rarely will she just, you know, strike and take it from you. So, but either way, still very fun snakes. I love, obviously, red, my favorite color. So here we go again, another red snake. So definitely very beautiful, nice little tricolors. But this was the very first milk snake I had, was a Cinnalone years ago. Way back, early 2000. Unfortunately, it was also the beginning of me getting into reptiles, and I didn't house it properly, and it got away from me. But anyway, so picked up these guys a couple years ago, and you see they're getting big. I thought maybe we could see some breeding this year, but I'd rather just give this female another year and just put a little bit more size and weight to her. I think they're, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, they're around 3 years old. So, you know, we'll wait till next year. We'll give them one more year. Like I said, I'd rather wait 1 year and make sure she's really up to the task of being a mother and carrying those eggs. So that's the Cinnalones. Very beautiful. Let's put these guys away, and let's grab the next snakes. Okay, so next up we're going to touch upon the ball pythons that I have, and of course a lot of you have seen the champagne female that I have. Very beautiful. She almost looks like she has a stripe. She's not happy with being woken up. But you can see, very beautiful, typical champagne, almost with the dorsal stripe. She got nice yellows around the top of her head there, so very beautiful. That's one. And I've got these two. These are citrus pastels. This is the female. I really like the high yellows on this one. Very beautiful snake. Very bright, very vivid, especially right after she sheds, of course. Good little snake there. And then this will be her future mate, which is another citrus pastel. He's not exactly the same as her. He actually is low expression calico, and you can kind of see a little bit here and down the side. I don't know how well Web will pick that up, but you can kind of see it down his backside there, right through there. And he's also 100% het for clown, so I really would like to get into the clown morphs. Maybe someday, we'll see. Prices are starting to come down to where you can get some decent stuff, so we'll see what the future holds. But these two definitely will be breeding, because I definitely want to continue on this this very nice yellow and work with that in the pastels, and see what happens with this with the calico. You know, I think we get a nice proportioned yellow and the calico, and definitely be a nice little ball python. So we'll see what happens, but that's the pair, that's the champagne, and let's move on to the albino and get her down. But that's my youngsters. Okay, so the next reptile I have is a fun one. This guy is a European legless lizard, and again, something that I've never had before, but had always been interested in them. So, you know, why not? Let's give one a try. It's very fun. This is quickly becoming one of my daughter's favorites. She wants to feed him all the time. But yeah, definitely a fun animal to own if you want something different. I've worked with snakes a lot over the years, so to see this body and to see that head and that tongue, it just always gets me. And there's his little crocodile roll. He does that a lot when he doesn't want to be handled, so you kind of just have to, just like a snake, just let him crawl through your fingers, because they will lose their tail. And with 2/3 of his body being tail, I really don't want him to do that. So definitely a fun little critter. Very cute. I mean, if you like skinks, if you're a fan of skinks, to me they have a very skink-like head, and they have that fat fleshy tongue like a skink would. And they're almost did another barrel roll. But as you can see, you know, doesn't mind handling too much. I don't know for certain, but I would assume that this was wild caught, maybe even, you know, wild imported. I'm not for certain. So, you know, but if he was wild caught, he has adapted very well to captivity. As you can see in previous videos, he is taken to canned foods, as well as of course he eats live insects and whatnot as well. And I think I got a clip, I'll cut it in right here if I do, of him eating some worms, some tomato hornworms, I believe it was, or was it silkworms? Either way, I'll cut it in here, and we can see that there. And then I'll come back after that clip with a different animal. Say bye. Everybody wants to go to the camera. Wood shavings. So here's my big girl, big albino. I've had her for a number of years. I don't even remember. I'd have to look it up. But very, very large, very fat, beautiful snake, and Yeah, this is, I actually picked her up the very first time I went to Tinley Park, and I am not even going to tell you what I had to pay to get her, but I will tell you who I got her from, and that was Garrick DeMeyer of Royal Constrictors and CrestedGecko.com. That is the creator of this beauty. So, very beautiful snake, and yeah, definitely glad to have her in the collection. So, that's her, and I'm certain you can hear those tortoises, so let's get those out now. So here they are. You've probably been hearing them throughout the video, but this is the big female, kind of holding her out because they do like to, you know, use the pee to as a defense. Anyways, this is the big girl. Very, very cute little tortoises. Good first-time tortoises. There's a few others that make good first-time tortoises, but Russians are definitely one of them. And the male is worse about defensive stuff. So, anyways, that's the little male. Maybe one day we will have little tortoise babies. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, very fun tortoises. Definitely working on getting them into a very nice large enclosure, but that'll be in an upcoming video. And but yeah, this is the tortoises. And let's take a minute here. The great thing about springtime is, which is finally here in Ohio, I guess, maybe. It's a little chilly this week, but last week was warm. Anyways, the dandelions, they're in bloom all over the place. And these guys love to eat those flowers. So let's take a look at this little short clip of them mowing down some dandelions. And then we'll get to the final snake in my collection. Say goodbye. Bye. Okay, so before I show you my final snake, I forgot one of the ball pythons. This is the genetic stripe male. He's a little bit of a finicky eater. You know, I don't know. He's not a very strong feeder on mice, but you know, we keep working on it, and he does eat, but not as strongly as I hope he would. But regardless, nice little male. Maybe one day he'll breed to that albino. I don't know. We'll see how things pan out. But I can't believe I forgot this guy. But genetic stripe, little ball python. Now let me get to the final snake in my collection. So here's the final snake in my collection, and that is my big boa, one of my favorites. Big old beautiful gentle girl. There's a probably don't show her enough on my channel, but she's definitely one of my favorites. Definitely a beautiful snake. Ever since I've seen the sun glows, I always loved them. More so than the albinos. Come back here. There we go. So yeah, this is her. And oop, you're okay. I got spooked her. What was I saying? Oh, how I love the sun glows. Always wanted to get one for a number of years, and they just were always on my price range. So definitely excited when I was finally able to pick this girl up on a reasonable price. But yeah, very beautiful snake. Very friendly. No issues with her whatsoever. Good feeding response, but nothing too crazy. You know, just a very lovely snake. So that is my collection. If you've already watched this far, you might as well subscribe, because you're going to see all these animals and then some. And future videos, I'm working on keeping up with a weekly video of some sort. Really trying to push for 2 a week, but I do have to work, so it's difficult, but anyways, subscribe, leave comments below, let me know which ones of my reptiles are your favorite. I definitely like to hear those comments, so leave comments below. And until next time, later.